How's it going to all my movie lovers on YouTube and all my movie lovers on Instagram? Welcome to today's video, Tuesday's video on Sterling on Cinemas. That's Cinemas with an S. And today I'll be giving you my review on WALL-E as part of the Pixar playlist that I give you a review on any Pixar movie, on all Pixar movies every Tuesday. So before I begin, if you are new to this video or to this playlist perhaps, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the section below, and most importantly, watch to the very end. And the same thing if you're on Instagram. Whether you're new or you've been here many times, don't forget to follow me. Share it on your story with your friends and family so you can raise those numbers, especially on YouTube. And comment if you have anything good to say about the movie or your favorite part. And most importantly, watch it from beginning to end. Let's get started on this journey. So, WALL-E, which is short for Waste Allocation Low Lifter Earth Class, is the last robot left on Earth. He spends his days tidying up the planet one piece of garbage at a time. But during 7 centuries, WALL-E has developed a personality, and he is more than a little lonely. Then he spots Eve, which stands for Earth Vegetation Evaluator, and she's a sleek and shapely probe sent back to Earth on a scanning mission. But the smitten WALL-E embarks on his greatest adventure yet when he follows Eve across the galaxy. Now, let me put it to y'all like this. I ain't seen WALL-E in a minute. Like, I watched it today, but before today, I have not seen it in a very long time. But you know, I watch all these Pixar movies, so I remember by heart. But looking back at this movie makes it feel like the most overlooked Pixar film. And not just because it's one of the only Pixar franchises to have one movie entry in it. Like, it's not really a franchise because it doesn't have more than one in it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like Ratatouille and A Bug's Life. But it teaches us about the power of colonization and the possibility to thrive with natural resources. Like why that's important, because natural resources are divine. They are made from the earth. They were just grown. They were just formed. At first glance, the audience can see how the Earth is a post-populated dystopia, like just the way it appears as this garbage-like planet, kind of something reminiscent as Alita Battle Angel in that world, and other post-apocalyptic worlds. Can't speak, man. Now, at first glance, the audience can see that, you know, this trait for most sci-fi films that sees the planet's population relocating somewhere else or traveling across the universe, this trope is used in this movie. But WALL-E continues the sci-fi trope and Pixar's new trope of testing the audience's will to adapt from one location to a better one. 2 movies ago, we saw a shift from the exotic to the conventional in Cars. In Ratatouille, we saw them go from a rusty environment to the distinguished city of Paris. In WALL-E, it spends the first act of the film making it aware that WALL-E is the last industrial machine or lone survivor on Earth. We see what he has been doing for 700 years, and to the audience it makes it seem repetitive, boring, and mild. However, all of this changes when the sudden change of environments from the open range dystopian Earth to the ever-expanding endless ends of the universe. Furthermore, we learn that Earth's population does not live, but they are not actually living life. They are not being active. Now, the discovery of a growing green growing green plants. That's what I was trying to say. This is the only piece of proof that life on Earth is possible again. Better yet, the existence of WALL-E, the existence that there's any existing WALL-E still programming to this day, at this point in time in the story, is proof that there is still life to be lived on Earth. The characters. The cast of characters in this movie is pretty even with humans and robots. Even though we see more artificial intelligence in the movie than the people, Pixar still knows how to hit those right notes with the audience. The movie presents each of the industrial WALL-E probes as being portable trash compactors, and that's what they are. You know, they're nothing but mini trash trucks. That's all they are. And the last WALL-E we see, which is our protagonist of the story, continues to do that as a daily habit. Over time, he also becomes somebody who discovers random objects and collects them in order to understand what was and what could still potentially be. Hence the last green plant, the one that is starting to grow. The moment when it seems like we would be witnessing an endless dull cycle of rebuilding and reconstructing on a dystopian Earth, the audience meets Eve. The audience meets the Earth Vegetation Evaluator, who is a complete opposite of WALL-E. She is a more refined and advanced drone with upgraded thrusters, a ray gun, a clean and shiny appearance, and a modern and futuristic aesthetic. This is the first time Pixar makes romance one of the main focuses of their story. Now, up to this point, I'm not trying to say this is the first romantic couple. I mean, we've had our fair share of romantic couples like Woody and Bo Peep, which will be more explored in Toy Story 4, which is way down the line. We have Flick and Princess Ada from A Bug's Life, Lightning McQueen and Sally from the Cars franchise, and Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl from the Incredibles franchise, just to name a few. Now, the point of both of these characters going to space is to reveal that there is still possibly the possibility to thrive on the inhabitable blue planet of Earth. I mean, that was Eve's main mission, to go on Earth, find the plant, and bring it back. But it also gives WALL-E the attention that he deserves. Because when you've been alone for a long time, let's be honest, you want to see somebody. Like, sure, we could all use some alone time sometimes, but that you don't want to be lonely. There's a difference between being alone and lonely, and WALL-E was lonely, therefore he needed a hand to hold. He has always fantasized about finding a hand to hold, and now he has gone through thousands of light years to hold one robotic hand. I would like to go deeper on the Earth's population and how their condition says a lot. Now, for those of you who may be confused about what I mean when I say the condition of Earth's population, it's like they've been on the ship for more than 700 years, right? Ever since they were trying to, just escape the planet, to like when it tore itself apart, when things fell apart. It's like as time went on, they became obese. They had an obese condition as a result of their bones wearing down due to inactivity. They've been sitting in them chairs all day. You ever know somebody who sits somewhere all day in front of the television, in front of all those microwaves, and then they get obese? This is pretty much what's happening to all these people, but it's 1,000 times. It's on a daily basis. Like everything they watch and drink, everything they watch on TV is pretty much everything that is better on Earth. It lines up with the old conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's still popular today, but it's an old conspiracy theory about what would happen to Earth's population in the very distant future. Not only was there the idea of moving the population to another planet, but that we would become so consumed of the technology and the convenience that we have that it would slowly take us over physically and mentally. So that is where the captain, of course, learned that because we have this plant, because we have this soil, that there's the possibility to go back to Earth. There is no need to sit around on this ship any longer, sipping pizza, drinking cheeseburgers from the cup, but you need to go back to the planet and live life again, how it was meant to be, in the natural and not the artificial. Rotten Tomatoes gives WALL-E a 95% score. Really? Nah. Pixar's attempt at telling a love story in space was executed beautifully. Most importantly, it is a very relevant picture about the importance of thriving and the value of what is natural. The message forces the audience to look into the future and how we can determine where the human race could go. So I will give WALL-E 7.9 SOs out of 10. It was very good. It doesn't measure up. It's not as great as the Pixar movie Next Tuesday, but it still holds the place as being an exceptionally relevant animated feature. Now that's not to say that this is the only animated movie with a big message to it. There are a lot of animated pictures with big messages to it, especially since they come from Disney, so that's not a surprise. I'm going to be covering movies like that like way later down the line. So that is my review on WALL-E. Y'all can let me know whether this is one of your favorites or not in the comments below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with Way Back Wednesday.